starting 11. So Dipender Singh will play no part today. We believe it's a leg injury. We don't know any more than that in terms of his participation for the rest of the tournament. For Nepal's sake, let's just hope it's solely for today. But we don't know any further than the fact he's not playing today. Crashed away and a brilliant stop. 4-run save by Kushal Bertel. Body on the line. That's outstanding work at backward point. So that's why Dipender Singh is not at backward point. He's not out there in the starting 11. We wish him well. Let's hope we'll see him in future days. Nepal will need him.
Definitely, he's a tiger of Nepal. I was wondering early in the innings why the field looks a bit empty. Dipender Singh is not playing. That is why. Now I know the answer. We're talking about Gulshan Jha. Would you have fancied a new batsman in the crease? Would you have fancied a slip for Gulshan Jha?
Yeah, it's that kind of risk-reward, isn't it, as a captain? How much do you attack in a T20I? Wickets the key currency. They've found 3 wickets in a course of just 6 legal deliveries, thanks to Lamachani and Jha. They have this game, it feels like it's back under control. Anything under 150, they'll be pretty comfortable and confident of chasing on what's a good batting surface generally here at the TU. And even though Singapore dominated much of the first half of this innings, it's probably Nepal's game again now for the moment. Gets us to the halfway stage. We'll have a break here in the commentary boxes. The players and the umpires will get a much deserved drink. With 10 overs bowled, it's 69 for 4.
Original taste, the original fun. One only.
विदेशबाट ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा घर जित्ने मौका पाउनुहुन्छ। नपत्याए
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला। यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
बॉडी टिकाऊ, बॉडी कवरेज।
Well, a little bit of news to us. We apparently do not have a drinks break. Even though I did see the ground staff all ready to go out and paint the lines. Looks like maybe for this segment of the competition we're not going to have drinks. 10 over next. So Lamachani will continue, and he's got another. It's kept a little low. I think it might have been the wrong one out of the back of the hand. The umpire's finger went up pretty quickly, adjudicating this was going to go on and hit leg stump. It's done enough, and Lamachani has yet another T20I wicket to his name.
Very clever bowling by Lamachani there. Bowled a googly behind the hand. Ball going in. That's a decent decision by the umpire. The ball would have crashed into leg stump. Good decision by the umpire. Another breakthrough for Lamachani. Jana Prakash has to depart. For 7, Singapore 70 for 5.
अघि बढ्दै सिद्धार्थ बैंक सम्बन्ध सधैँभरिलाई।
बॉडी टिकाऊ, बॉडी कवरेज।
दिमाग लगाओ, जापानीज टेक्नोलॉजी वाला पेन चलाओ।
हनी, दिमाग लगाओ, Japanese technology वाला पेंट चलाओ। KNP Nerolac Healthy Home Paints from Japan.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला। यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
He is dismissed thanks to this. I think it's probably a top spinner. Might have been the intended googly. Sometimes they just come out a bit different. Lamachani was convinced it was probably flirting with that leg stump, but doing more than enough to go on to crash into it. And umpire Rashid Riaz gets the finger up. Left-hander now to the crease. Lamachani will enjoy bowling to him. He's unlike a lot of leg spinners. He quite enjoys bowling to left-handers because of how prodigious that googly is, as it will be Aryavir Chowdhury to the crease, the 17-year-old playing his first ever T20I. And he gets a first international run. Great to have you with us here live on ICC.tv. Monty Desai there, as he often does, just running a few messages out in his role as drinks carrier. What he likes to do, having a chat and throw a towel. I think we're already seeing indications for me, Paresh. I know it's Lamachane, I know it's high quality spin bowling, but we're seeing turn on offer. We're seeing something that I thought nicely guided away. It's going to be 4 runs. The outfield's quick. I was just talking about the strength of Nepal's spinners. They surely want to bowl a bit more spin and a little bit less seam.
Yes, they would have done that. Mind you, Lalit Rajvanshi is not playing today. Avinash Bora is playing in place of him. Well, just to have a good combination, 2 frontline spinners and 2 frontline seamers along with Gulshan Jha, it would have been a very good combination. 11 gone, Singapore 76 for 5.
Real fruit बाट बनेको real juice मा छ real nutrition, real taste, real happiness. त्यसैले त real juice real हो नि.
दादा बाहिर भाइरस छ.
नडराउ, मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्देऊ भाइरसलाई.
पम्प रब छु
हो लाइफबोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस. त्यसैले पम्प रब छु संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड.
वर्ल्डलिङको फेस्टिभ अफर 3 वा 12 महिनाको इन्टरनेट पेमेन्टमा पाउनुहोस् स्यामसङका विभिन्न प्रोडक्टहरुमा रु 15,500 सम्म.
Third consecutive over. And a reminder, if you're here in the Kathmandu Valley watching on Kantapur HD TV, you do want to get your tickets. You've got to buy them in advance on IME Pay if you can. And for those watching around the world, a very good morning to you wherever you're watching from. We've had messages come from all around the world. I've had Nepal fans message me from the United States of America, from Australia, from New Zealand. Great to have you all with us for what is going to be a very intense week of action. And if this morning is anything to go by, we're in for a dramatic 5 game days, Paresh.
Yes, very excited about this qualifier. The top 2 teams going to qualify for the 2020 World Cup next year. Who can make it to the finals? Talking about Gulshan Jha, he's a very good bowler, a very good future prospect for Nepal. He shows his maturity in bowling and batting as well. The delivery that he bowled to Mohammad Wasim in the final. Edged down to third man. Nicely fielded by Avinash Bora.
Yeah, good work from Bahar right in front of our commentary position. Very clean piece of work to save 3 runs. He's not known as a good fielder, maybe the weakest in this 11. In fact, it's given us 4. For me, it looked clean, but maybe the square leg umpire or somebody adjudicating that the back of his leg had just flicked the Coca-Cola advertising hoardings just as he attempted to stop it, but he does work very hard on his fielding. He really does have seen him in the post-match sessions and training sessions doing extra work on it. He's worked hard on his fitness too, but this time unable to save the 3 additional runs as Chowdhury gets a first boundary in international cricket, the youngster. And nice to see Singapore starting to promote their youth too. We'll see Akshay Puri with the ball later. So the umpires for sure. Yeah, give you a quick score update from the Mulpani ground. I know the majority of Nepal's fans' eyeballs are here at the TU, but UAE winning the toss, choosing to field first, which I thought we'd see every captain do with the 9 AM starts, but immediately Aritra Dutta surprised me this morning for Singapore. Nice leg cutter this time from Gulshan Jat to close out the 12th over. It's 80 for 5.
Body टिकाऊ, body coverage.
दिमाग लगाओ Japanese technology वाला पेन चलाओ
KNP Nerolac Healthy Home Paints from Japan.
The original taste, the original fun, one and only.
विदेशबाट ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा घर जित्ने मौका पाउनुहुन्छ। नपत्याए
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
Plus.
Surely they will be looking at 150 plus because they know how the pitch plays, how the pitch is very good for batting. That was proven by the Singapore batsman. What a partnership, the first wicket partnership for Singapore. The captain losing his wicket for a not, then the good partnership. Avinash Pohara changing his ends. With his second over, the first over yielded 22 runs. That was a big over for Singapore. 4-4, 6-4-4. And a dot ball for Avinash Pohara.
Yeah, we really appreciate you all getting in touch. We're not going to be able to get to all your messages that are flooding in across social media. You can use that hashtag T20 World Cup or message directly to me, Andrew Leonard, at Cricket Badge 2. We'll try and get to some of those messages, maybe particularly in between the innings. Difficult in the T20s, but messages coming in from the UK, from Europe. So many staying up to the early hours of the morning in the United States of America in particular. It's after midnight there on the East Coast already. There's a gigantic Nepali diaspora now, right the way across the world. Australia in particular, USA too.
Yeah, there are lots of Nepalese around Australia and in the United States. Pulled away behind square, and that's much needed boundary for Singapore. Chowdhury with his second boundary moves to 11 of 9.
Pohara continues to prove expensive. It goes back to my point here. I know Dipendra Singh Ari is not in the starting 11 because of that late injury, but would you not look at Kushal Malla, who was so economical in the tri-series, for a couple of quick overs in this phase, just to continue to keep the brakes on Singapore? Instead, the pace on the ball is allowing scoring opportunities, and Singapore continue to putting it right up to the hosts. Nicely driven again. They certainly look more comfortable with the pace on the ball than when Sandeep Lamachani has taken the pace off it and bowled his brilliant leg spin.
Yeah, Bora, he's not trying to bowl those Yorkers that are lethal bowled by him. He's a Yorker specialist. That is why he comes and bowls after 10 overs, probably 12th, 14th, 16th and 18th over, or even 13th, 15th, 17th and 19th over. But he was brought in very early. Nicely driven down the ground. This young Chaudhary looks to be a very good batsman, a good middle order. He likes to pace on the ball.
My first time seeing him, just 17. He has played a little bit for the Singapore under-19 side, but yet to make a senior debut. Remember, they do have those 2 injuries coming into this tournament. No Avi Dixit, who continues to go viral with all of his work on Instagram. Very much worth a follow if you haven't seen his impressions on social media. And no Arya Manuchil, who's probably an even bigger miss with his all-round skills. Bahara does find the block hole, but it's another expensive over. 10 runs have come from it. It's 90 for 5.
You're real ho.
यो हो रियल रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
दादा बाहिर भाइरस छ।
नडराउ, मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्देऊ भाइरसलाई।
पम्प र छु
हो लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस। त्यसैले पम्प रब
छु
संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड।
ड्याड यो फिजिकल होइन डिजिटलको जमाना हो।
The rankings predominantly with that Tim David inspired team, but with David now going on to play internationally for Australia, he's no longer available for Singapore. I think they got up as high as the top 20 of the rankings at one stage, including a really good run in the T20 Global Qualifier in 2019, but now they're as low as they've ever been that I can remember, 36th in the world. Then it goes to Kuwait and Bahrain at 27th and 28th, Malaysia 25th, Oman are 20th, and then the 2 highest ranked and also the number 1 seeds in each group, Group A and Group B here, Nepal at 16th and UAE at 17th. I know you say it doesn't count for much, and I agree with you. It's all about who's going to play the best cricket here over the course of this coming week, but it does give you an indication as to the general strength and depth in the Asian region.
Yes, that is somehow correct, Lenny, but Singapore, on the other hand, they played well in the first 6 overs of the power play. They smashed the bowlers all around the park, the Nepali bowlers. Then came in Sandeep Lamichhane, turned around, Gulshan Jha taking 2 wickets in 1 over, nicely driven but straight to the fielder, Rohit Paudel. It's Sundeep Zora, rather.
Yeah, and certainly Gulshan Jha's impact with these 4 consecutive overs has been extraordinary. Gone straight through. I'm still surprised we haven't seen a 6th bowler. I know there's no Irie in the team, but surely Kushal Mala's the one. That's the scale of interest from the gathered press. Count up your fluorescent bibs there, probably a dozen or more. This is hit towards a mid-off fielder and just short of Kushal Mala, who does pretty well to get something on it to save the boundary. Let's hope he's alright. It might have cannoned up into his forearm. Just one final note on the rankings. Paresh's 2 higher ranked sides not actually here, weren't able to qualify from the Gulf region. Qatar 26th in the world, and Saudi Arabia, who pushed Kuwait all the way 35th in the world. So much talent in Asia, you cannot rule any of these 8 sides out.
Yeah, you cannot rule out any of the 8 teams they are participating in this qualifiers. Bowling back of the length straight to backward point. Gulshan Jha is bowling very well. He's matured as a bowler and a batsman as well. A matured cricketer, I must say. The ball that he bowled to Mohammad Wasim in the final of the Dabur Honey Nepal T20I Tri-Series played against Nepal, Hong Kong and UAE. The ball that he bowled against Mohammad Wasim, the ball that cut in to the right hand and Mohammad Wasim was bowled. That was a perfect delivery. That shows how mature he is. He gets the ball move.
It's going to be a boundary, I think, to close out Jha's spell. It's very quick, this outfield. Once you get it past the men in the ring, you're generally going to get good reward. Doesn't take away from an excellent 4 overs. He'll finish with 2 for 21. And as we get to the end of the 14th, Singapore continue to fight and scrap here. '98.
You're real ho.
यो हो रियल रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
The original taste, the original fun, one and only. यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
Who'd won all 5 games up to that point. So much depth in the Asian region. Got a bit of a break in play as physio's out assessing some treatment to Manpreet Singh, who hasn't really got going yet, just 16 off 18 balls. And I think we're going to see a second spinner introduced in the shape of Kushal Malla. Well, that was what was indicated at first. His cap was initially given over to the umpire, but now Sandeep Lamachani is actually going to be the one to return. So still just the 5 bowlers used. Great to have you watching along live with us on ICC TV. Kantapur here in Nepal and also on Fancode down in India. Do get in touch if you've got any questions. You're wondering how the structure of this tournament works. You're wondering which players we think are the ones to watch. You can use that hashtag T20 World Cup. The official ICC's handles are at T20 World Cup on all the platforms, or you can get in touch with me directly at Cricket Badge, Cricket BADGE, and send us a message on either Instagram or Twitter. We're getting messages coming in from Germany, from Canada, from USA. Tell us where you're watching from as well. Always fascinating to hear. Huge numbers supporting Nepal in particular. Lamachani just played down with an inside edge by Chowdhury. Shake nearly affects the run out. Would you have gone with Lamachani's 4th here, or would you have turned to Malla?
Well, I would have gone with Malla to just check one over of him. Yeah, it would have been safe, even though if it was a direct hit. I would go with Malla, because just to check one over with him. He's a very clever bowler, mind you, Malla. Swept away, a slog sweep down to square leg, in front of square, and it's a boundary. Valiant effort by Pratish GC there. A well-deserved boundary for Manpreet Singh. Nicely swept it away in front of square. Look at this again. The ball was on middle stump. Swept that in front of square, mind you. That is why he got the gap. Pratish GC couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, runs have come alongside the wickets for Singapore. Definitely putting it up to Nepal, who would have felt against the lowest ranked side in the competition that maybe there was a chance to get things off to a flying start with a big win. But they're going to be tested, they're going to be pushed. Big swing and a miss from Singh. Slip has come out of position now. Plenty of protection in the deep on the leg side. And you suspect that if Singapore can have a good final flourish, get up to 160, 155, something like that. We saw that was a competitive score in the final. Just missing the off stump there. Tried it away. Just a single. Kushal Malla's in the ring. Surely Nepal have to look at a 6th bowler. Bahar has been very expensive.
Well, they'll have to, but I think it's too late to introduce the 6th bowler. Kushal Malla, there's a left-hander in the crease. Kushal Malla bowling left-arm orthodox. It'll be relatively easy for the left-hander to face him. Googly chipped it away down to long on.
Well, that's going to conclude a super spell of bowling from Sandeep Lamachani. 4 overs, 2 for 18, and at the end of the 15th, it's 105 for 5.
You're
फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
दादा बाहिर भाइरस छ।
नडराउ, मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई।
पम्प रब छु
हो, लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वासले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस। त्यसैले पम्प रब छु, संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड।
खल्तीबाट वर्ल्डिङको पेमेन्ट गरेर दुबई घुमौ रमेर 24 भाग्यशाली जोडीले जित्न सक्नुहुनेछ 4 रात 5 दिनको लागि दुबई घुम्ने मौका। छिटो भनेकै वर्ल्डिङ।
Was nicely bowled, but got the inner part of the bat down, running down to the third man boundary for 4 runs. Much needed boundary for Chaudhary and Singapore. Chaudhary moves to 22 of 16. What a little knock he's playing here, the young 17-year-old.
Yeah, looking for the block hole, but again, because there's pace on the ball, it creates a run-scoring opportunity. It's not gone where Chaudhry's intended it, but the pace on the ball has allowed it to run away for 4. Really surprised to see no Kushal Malla here. I was a little critical at points of the Asia Cup. I knew that Nepal were probably never going to beat India and Pakistan, but I just felt they didn't bowl enough spin. Good length this time from Kami, beats the attempted cut shot. But you play to your strength as a cricketing nation, and Nepal's has always been in their spinners. You think back to Shakti Gocham, Basanta Regmi, all of the brilliant players you would have come up with. You had so many spinners all the way through, Paresh, and that's still the case now. In fact, watching them at training the other day, there were, I think, 5 left-arm spinners, all of whom I felt were of an international quality. Today, I know that defender Singh Iri isn't in the playing 11. We may just see 4 overs of spin. Real surprise.
Yes, it was a bit surprise. Kushal Malla not being introduced into the attack. He's a very smart bowler. He bowls very economically. Even though he doesn't have that turning balls like what Lalit Narayan Rajbangshi does, but he's very economical, very smart. Cut it away down to backward point. Another boundary. He's playing a blinder of an innings, Chaudhary.
And again, it's a full pace delivery, and that pace allows run scoring opportunities. Singapore are giving as good as they're getting here. Just clears that front leg, comes out of the middle of the bat and races away behind square on the offside. It's standing from the 17-year-old. In the final of the tri-series here, that was against the UAE. Kushal Malla, 3 overs, 1 for 16. It's very nearly hit the off stump, but change up from Kami. I think at one point he bowled 4 overs for 9 in one of the other games, although he was wicketless. Keeping things tight and keeping them economical is as important as taking wickets in T20 cricket.
Yes, I always thought that Kushal Malla was under-bowled. He's a very good bowler, smart bowler, as I said. He has been very economical in the last week when Nepal played the tri-series between 2 teams. Nicely driven down the ground, just a single. I think that was a variation bowled by Sompal Kami. Sompal Kami needs to bowl variation, bowl off cutters, leg cutters, the slower ball behind the hand that he bowls very well. Because the ball is coming nicely onto the back, the seam-up deliveries. That is why the young Chaudhary is able to score runs off him.
Well, the interesting question for me from here, Paresh, is there are 4 overs remaining. Kami's bowled out. Gulshan Jazz bowled out, as is Sandeep Lamachani, probably the pick of the bowlers with his 2 for 18. Do they go with the last 4 with Bahara and KC? Could that be costly? Allow Singapore to get up over that 160 marker. 16 have been bowled, 116 for 5. Just take a look at the bowling figures here. Paresh, just the 5 bowlers used. Will it be KC and Bahara to close out?
Yeah, I think that will be the case by the captain Rohit Podel. 2 overs apiece left for KC and Avinash Bora. And talking about Avinash Bora.
You're real ho.
यो हो रियल रियल फ्रुटबाट फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
दादा बाहिर भाइरस छ।
नडराउ, मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई।
पम्प रब छु
हो लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस। त्यसैले
The Dashain Festival celebrations are coming to an end, or certainly the public holiday aspect of them, as is they'll pick up a couple out to Vivek Yadav, who does a fielding out at deep extra. He's the man who came into the side at the very last moment in place of Dipender Singh Ari, who suffered a leg injury. What we will try to do is get you an update at the halfway stage as to Ari's status. Was it just precautionary that he was left out for today? Will we see him in the rest of the tournament, or what do Nepal expect? Always going to be a second here. It's 70 metres to the 2 square boundaries. Got asked this online yesterday. Actually a direct hit from the deep from Vivek Yadav, and 65 metres straight down the ground. As I think this one might have cannoned into the body of Manpreet Singh. Good piece of bowling from Karen KC. He's followed him.
Yeah, definitely followed him, but I think that was a good selection of shot. Just the ball was coming to his head, to his body. He went under the ball and tried to scoop it over the keeper's head, but couldn't connect it. Got hit on the body. Good cricket all round, good bowling, nice batting technique as well. Went under the ball, went inside the line of the ball and tried to scoop the ball. Slower ball, hit it up in the air. Rohit Paudel taken. What a catch by the captain, Rohit Paudel. He's very good in the boundary line, in the Sadiyat circuit as well.
Marvellous fielding from a very, very special cricketer, the captain of Nepal, Rohit Paudel. We saw him take an even better one during the tri-series, where he had to go outside the playing surface and throw it up and come back in. But this is judged to perfection. He's made that look so easy. Spoken before about how much he practices taking these catches in the deep, and that is as good as you'll see. Immaculate from Paudel. Marvellous athleticism. And it finds the 6th wicket for his country, just inches inside the boundary hoardings. Manpreet Singh's gone for 22, and the score now 118 for 6.
म्याङ्गो अनार र मिक्स्ड फ्रुटको साथै अब 2 नयाँ स्वादमा लिची र गुआवा पनि तपाईको फेभरेट रियल अब नयाँ ट्रेन्डी पेट बोतलमा।
साधारण टुथपेस्ट युज गर्नुभयो भने टाढै रहनुहुनेछ। रोज्नुहोस् क्लोज अप। यसको एन्टी जर्म माउथ वाश फर्मुलाले दिन्छ 12 घण्टा 3 गुणा ताजा सास।
पाउनुहोस् अझ बढी ताजापन र सधैँ नजिक रहने कन्फिडेन्स। क्लोज अप।
Karen KC with a head of steam into the new man, Philip Ahmadurai. We've seen a really topsy-turvy innings, Paresh, but probably not what we expected coming into today. Nepal have been pushed and pushed very hard at points by Singapore.
Yeah, they've been pushed very hard, starting from the beginning for the first power play. They were scoring at 10 runs per over in the first power play. Nicely bowled, Karan KC.
Well, one of the debutants in T20I cricket today for Singapore, it's Thilip Ahmadurai Thilipan, 31-year-old, bowls right arm medium. And he's got a 17-year-old at the non-strikers end who's also on debut. This is the catch again from Paudel. It was just magnificently judged. It's hard to explain how good that is. Critical, you've got the eyewear on with the brightness that we're playing into. Brilliant athleticism. And it'll be a first international run for Ahmadurai to close out KC's third over. 17 bowled, 120 for 6.
रियल रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
दादा बाहिर भाइरस छ,
नडराऊ मात्र।
Nicely cut away, going towards the third man region. The third man is inside the circle, boundary. 31 of 21, this Chaudhry.
Yeah, it was actually one ball left to the over because of that wide. Our graphics team just updating that. It is now the end of the 17th, 1-2-4 for 6. Three overs remain for Singapore to drive up towards what could be a defendable total, 150 plus. We saw 162 posted by Nepal in the final just a couple of days ago on this same wicket, the very same pitch that we're playing on today. They'll have had 2 more days of preparation for that pitch. The ground staff who do an immaculate job. I have to give great credit to them. I was here at the ground yesterday. It's going to be Bahara to come in to bowl his third. Looks like Nepal will just use the 5 bowlers. There's just so many of them. Many of them live here on site at the TU and they do a brilliant job. But we saw 160 be right around par. Nepal nearly pulled it out of the fire. If they'd held their catches early, dropping Mohammad Wasim twice, they probably would have won that final and defended 162.
It all depends on the strength of the bowling attack, what Nepal had the other day on the final. Again bowling a short ball, pulled away, not getting the mid of the bat, and taken by Sundeep Zohra. Second catch for him. This was a rather simple one regarding the first one that he took.
Well, it's another wicket and Bahara finally has something to take from today's spell. His first 2 overs were awfully expensive. That was there to be hit, to be honest, but the pull shot not really affected with any quality, and Sundeep Zohra takes a much easier catch than the one he executed earlier. And the debut for Ahmed Arai T20I cricket is going to be a short stay at the crease. He'll have a chance with the ball later. He's gone for just 1. Singapore fall a little further. It's 1-2-4 for 7.
जाऊ बाइक निकाल त।
कहाँ जाने ड्याड?
ब्याङ्क जानु छ एउटा कामले।
ब्याङ्क? लाउन्स। यो फिजिकल होइन, डिजिटलको जमाना हो। यति कामको लागि त ब्याङ्क जानै पर्दैन नि।
20 वर्षदेखि ग्राहकहरूको चाहनालाई सम्बोधन गर्दै निरन्तर अघि बढ्दै सिद्धार्थ ब्याङ्क, सम्बन्ध सधैँभरिलाई।
बॉडी टिकाऊ, बॉडी कवरेज।
दिमाग लगाओ, जापानीज टेक्नोलॉजी वाला पेंट चलाओ।
होनी, दिमाग लगाओ, जापानीज टेक्नोलॉजी वाला पेंट चलाओ। KNP Nerolac Healthy Home Paints from Japan.
The bat usually pretty effective with the ball. He had a good Asian Games, picking up 3 wickets. It's more like it from Bahara. He wasn't off by much in those first 2 overs, but he was off, and it was quite costly for Nepal, particularly that, what was it, a 22 run over.
Yes, it was. He was brought in very early to bowl by Rohit Paudel. Now his main goal, his main theme is to bowl Yorkers in the death overs. Another short ball, pulled away, the ball running down to long on. Another catch, nicely taken by the captain. This was much easier than the other one he took earlier, Rohit Paudel, the captain. Krishna has to depart for a knot.
Well, Bahara's figures may end up looking a bit better than they've actually been. He's picked up 2 and 3 deliveries in Singapore, or rather tamely ebbing away. I'm not sure about the choice of shot, given there's a batter at the other end on 31 not out. And Rohit Paudel is never going to drop that, is he? Bahara finds his second wicket. It's a second ball duck for Krishna. He's gone for none, and it's now 124 for 8.
Taste, the original fun, one and only.
विदेशबाट ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा घर जित्ने मौका पाउनुहुन्छ। नपत्याए
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको
Akshay Puri, the off spinner, the new man to the crease, in at number 10. The youngster really needs to get his partner onto strike. He's here because of this dismissal of the leg spinner. Not the wisest shot choice, and a simple catch held by Rohit Paudel. Bahara, really effective third over. He's fought back nicely. And it's going to be quite remarkable over. It might have been a single from the first ball, but there was 2 wickets from it as well. And it gets us to the end of the 18th. It's 124 for 8.
रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
The original taste, the original fun, one and only. यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
Avinash Bora bowling well, bowling to his strength. The last over that he bowled, double wicket maiden.
Well, a little bit of all sorts happening with the graphics. We'll try to get that tidied up for the second innings and for the rest of the tournament. Karen Casey will bowl his final over, the penultimate of the first innings. A reminder that Singapore won the toss, chose to have a bat first, which I think will buck the trend of the 9 AM matches. I think we'll tend to see captains win the toss and choose to bowl first with those morning conditions. Down the leg side, clipped away nicely by the youngster Puri. He'll get a boundary. KC just getting maybe a little bit greedy with his line, and all it needed was a tickle from the off spinner, and he gets 4.
KC angling to the leg of Puri, nicely guided down to fine leg region for 4 runs. Look at that, angling into the right-hander. Karan KC, like you said, Lenny, just getting a bit greedy to the tail-enders. A much needed boundary in the penultimate over for Singapore. That's a better line and length by Karan Casey. 2 runs taken here. That's very good running between the wickets. Sompal Kami there diving that but couldn't stop the ball. It was played to wide. Third man.
Well, he needed to get on the treadmill, didn't he? Look at a couple of the wickets. KC. Beautiful googly that really started the fight back for Nepal, and then it was all about Gulshan Jah too in quick succession. This one's checked down towards backward point, 2 fields well. Then a marvellous catch from Sundeep Jura. Gulshan Jah then bounced one out. Chani got an LBW decision. Was crashing into leg stump to dismiss Janak Prakash. Marvellously well judged, perfectly judged catch from Rohit Paudel before Bahara picked up a couple, both caught in the deep. Singapore started to give Nepal's fielders some catching practice. Back live with you now. Pori just happy to check that down for a single. 140, 145. Could it be enough for Singapore? They'll have to bowl very well.
Yeah, they'll have to bowl very well if they get 140, 145. They could have easily got 160 and above if they didn't lose wicket in the middle overs. I think Nepal will take 140, 145. They will easily take that, but they'll have to bat well to get those runs. And Singapore bowlers, they'll have to bowl very well against this quality batting attack of Nepal. Nicely hit down the ground by Chaudhary, the 17-year-old.
Well, hasn't he played nicely? What a debut for him. Been really, really good. Couple of singles will close out the 19th. 133 for 8.
रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
वर्ल्डलिङ्कको फेस्टिभ अफर 3 वा 12 महिनाको इन्टरनेट पेमेन्टमा पाउनुहोस् स्यामसङका विभिन्न प्रडक्टहरूमा रु 15,500 सम्मको भारी डिस्काउन्ट। छिटो भनेकै वर्ल्डलिङ्क।
ड्याड, यो फिजिकल होइन डिजिटलको जमाना हो। यति कामको लागि त ब्याङ्क जानै पर्दैन नि।
20 वर्षदेखि ग्राहकहरूको चाहनालाई सम्बोधन गर्दै निरन्तर अघि बढ्दै सिद्धार्थ ब्याङ्क, सम्बन्ध सधैँभरिलाई।
Will be Avinash Bahara to bowl the final over. Been an indifferent day for him. 2 very expensive overs and then a double wicket maiden to bounce back in a big way. It's his more natural role bowling at the death. Surprised to see him come in the power play in the first 6 overs. That 5th over of the game went for 22 and the home crowd didn't know what to think for a little while.
Yes, that was the biggest over of the Singapore innings. 22 runs given by Avinash Bahara. 4-4, 6-4, 4 and a dot.
Low full toss as he searches for the block. I don't think they'll get a second. Well, they will because of the fumble. Does get home. It's Kushal Bertel in an unusual position. He's usually not out necessarily in the deep. Better for his work in the ring, but the fumble costs an extra run.
Yeah, fielding has been a bit wary as well because of Dipender Singh. Aire is not playing today. That has affected the rest of the fielders as well. You can see that how big an impact in the field the Tiger is, Dipender Singh Aire.
Nicely played into the offside. There's a man out there. Should be a couple again. Yeah, we will try and get a status update for you on Dipender Singh Aire. Getting lots of messages on social media, concerned and distraught really about that injury to Aire. It could well just be for today's game. We don't know. We just know that it happened in the warm-up. And in fact, we weren't told about it before the start of play, so we were trying to work out where Dipender Singh Aire was because he's on the team sheet. But thanks to great sporting piece, spirit of cricket from the Singapore captain, he was happy to agree to a late replacement, which is Bibek Yadav. As this is slapped away and taken. Karen Casey nicely judges the catch down at deep third, and Chaudhary, well, he's made a marvellous debut, isn't he? 37, the pick of the batters alongside Rangarajan for me. But Bahara, well, he's fought back in a big way.
Yes, this one also shot outside the off stump. Chaudhary giving himself room, tried to slash it over the backward point fielder, but straight into Karan Casey's hand, the third man fielder. He's played a little gem of an innings, Chaudhary. 37 of 28. Singapore 137 for 9.
सुपर हिरोको साथ चम्किलो दाँत अनि ताजा सास डाबर हर्बल क्लोभ टुथपेस्ट जसमा छ ल्वाङको सुपर पावर। यसले दाँतलाई किरा लाग्नबाट बचाउँछ, दाँतलाई राख्छ स्वस्थ, सफा, चम्किलो अनि दिन्छ ताजा सास। दाँतको सुपर हिरो।
दादा, बाहिर भाइरस छ।
नडराऊ, मात्र पम्प, रब, छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई।
पम्प र छु?
हो, लाइफबोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस। त्यसैले पम्प, रब, छु। संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड।
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला। यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
I'll be really disappointed with the way this innings has just fallen away. Full, pretty straight, maybe an inside edge. Cannoned onto the pad after, but yes, it was the bat that saved Kalimuthu, and Puri's going to have 2 balls to work with to try and get Singapore up above that 140.
This is what Avinash Bora is all about, the Yorkers in the death overs. Very well executed Yorker by Avinash Bora. He's mixing his length, he's bowling Yorkers and bowling short balls. It's very difficult for the batsman to realize what is going on. 3 wickets already for him. He was a touch expensive in his first 2 overs. The first over yielded 22 runs. Nicely bowled again. Nicely played. I think that's a 6. Yes, it is.
Well, outstanding from Puri. He's got down and read that Yorker coming in from Avinash Bahar and managed to scoop it away for 6. An audacious stroke from the teenager. Bit of a top edge, but he's just read that beautifully and gets the maximum reward. A late flourish for Singapore. They might just be thinking, can they get to 150 now with 1 delivery left?
1 big hit and 150 is on the card here. Last ball to go off the innings. 11 runs and a wicket so far in this over. Last ball remaining of Avinash Bora's final over and the innings final over.
Going to try and run a by. The run out is not executed. It cannons into Puri's leg, but he was doing nothing wrong whatsoever. So they will run a by to close out this first innings. It's been a turbulent, a really topsy-turvy one. Would have been run out by a long way, but Asif Sheikh couldn't affect the direct hit. And then as the ball went straight into the backside of Puri, he acknowledged with an apology. Singapore are going to close with 145 for 9, and maybe just something for Nepal to be worried about in the chase. Didn't have it all their own way. Try and get a look at the highlights. Start with the batting highlights. Paresh, it was a second wicket partnership that was dominated by Rohan Rangarajan, who hit 9 4s and a 6 in his innings of 46 as he put on 52 with Chandramohan.
Yeah, we witnessed some very good cricketing shots by Rangarajan. Beautiful cover drives. Nicely timed the ball. This was the over that yielded 22 runs off Avinash Bora. A good cut shot, nicely driven cover drive as well into the gap between extra cover and cover point. A bit of a lucky there, getting the outside edge and running down to the third man. Nice pull shot. This one even better, flicked it away off his hips.
Certainly there was plenty to cheer, particularly off the seam bowlers. It was very rare that they were able to get Sandeep Lamachane away for a boundary. In fact, I think it was just the one off his 4-over spell. Excellent figures from the leg spinner, 2 for 18. But the left-hander for me was the pick of the innings. Aryavir Chowdhury, just 17 years of age, coming in for his T20I debut. He played shots around the ground, and there was the occasional piece of innovation and audaciousness too from Akshay Puri. A couple of maximums, just the one in fact from Rangarajan. Only 2 in total in the innings. That was maybe something that Singapore would like to change. They'll have to be satisfied at their total of 145 for 9 from their 20 overs. Will it be enough is the big question. There was 9 wickets to fall. Paresh, first one came from just the second ball to Karan KC. Ever impressive, the big right armour. He finished with 2 for 36. Try and bring you those wickets now. There's Sandeep Lamachane, who cleaned up Chandramohan with the googly. This was a brilliant catch held by Sandeep Jora.
Yes, a brilliant catch held by Sandeep Jora, and this was a simple catch, return catch for Kulsanja. Courtesy, very good bowling by him. This was dead straight, hitting leg stump. Sandeep Lamichhane with 2 wickets. This was another beautiful catch by Roy Cordell, nicely judged. He jumped to perfection. This was another one, a simple catch to Sandeep Dora again. His second catch of the day. And then Roy Cordell taking another simple catch. Second for him as well for the innings. This was caught at third man. That is how Singapore posted 145 for 9 in 20 overs. A really decent total, but can they defend it? It all depends on how they bowl.
Let's get a look at the bowling figures. Just the 5 used. Double wicket made for Avanesh Pahara, but his other 3 overs went for 43. 2 wickets apiece for Karen KC, Sandeep Lamichhane and Gulshan Jha. I thought Lamichhane and Jha were the pick of the attack. That'll get us to the halfway stage of this first game of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Asia Qualifiers final. It all comes down to this week, which 2 teams are going to take the 2 biggest prizes in associate cricket, places at next year's T20 World Cup. The first ever 20-team T20 World Cup for Nepal. To get themselves into a good position in this Group A, they'll need 146 to win. Don't go anywhere too far. Back with you with all the action in about 5 to 10 minutes time.
रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
दादा, बाहिर भाइरस छ।
नडराऊ, मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई।
पम्प रब छु?
हो, लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस। त्यसैले पम्प रब छु संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड।
जो ड्याड, जाऊ बाइक निकाल त।
कहाँ जाने ड्याड?
ब्याङ्क जानु छ एउटा कामले।
ब्याङ्क? लाउन्स। यो फिजिकल होइन, डिजिटलको जमाना हो। यति कामको लागि त ब्याङ्क जानै पर्दैन नि।
20 वर्षदेखि ग्राहकहरूको चाहनालाई सम्बोधन गर्दै
यो रियल हो?
यो हो रियल। रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
दादा, बाहिर भाइरस छ
नडराउ मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई
पम्प रब छु
हो लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस त्यसैले पम्प रब छु संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड
ड्याड जाऊ बाइक निकाल त
कहाँ जाने ड्याड
ब्याङ्क जानु छ एउटा कामले
ब्याङ्क लाउन्स यो फिजिकल होइन डिजिटलको जमाना हो यति कामको लागि त ब्याङ्क जानै पर्दैन नि
20 वर्षदेखि ग्राहकहरूको चाहनालाई सम्बोधन गर्दै निरन्तर अघि बढ्दै सिद्धार्थ ब्याङ्क सम्बन्ध सधैँभरिलाई
बॉडी टिकाऊ बॉडी कवरेज
दिमाग लगाओ जापानीज टेक्नोलॉजी वाला पेंट चलाओ
होनी दिमाग लगाओ जापानीज टेक्नोलॉजी वाला पेंट चलाओ केएनपी नेरोलैक हेल्दी होम पेंट्स फ्रॉम जापान
Original taste, the original fun, one and only.
वर्कआउट सँगै चाहिन्छ डाबर हनी जसले पुरा गर्छ हाम्रो
ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा घर जित्ने मौका पाउनुहुन्छ नपत्याए
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह
काम धुलो र पोल्युसनले तपाईको पहिचानलाई नै फिक्का बनाइदिन्छ फेयर एन्ड ह्यान्डसम यसले गर्छ डार्क स्पट कम र दिन्छ लामो समय निखार फेयर एन्ड ह्यान्डसम अब दुनियाँले चिनेछ तपाईलाई फेयर एन्ड ह्यान्डसम अब फेस वाशमा पनि उपलब्ध छ
यो रियल हो
यो हो रियल रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि
दादा बाहिर भाइरस छ
नडराउ मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई
पम्प रब छु
हो लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस त्यसैले पम्प रब छु संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड
ड्याड जाऊ बाइक निकाल त
कहाँ जाने ड्याड
ब्याङ्क जानु छ एउटा कामले
ब्याङ्क लाउन्स यो फिजिकल होइन डिजिटलको जमाना हो यति कामको लागि त ब्याङ्क जानै पर्दैन नि
20 वर्षदेखि ग्राहकहरूको चाहनालाई सम्बोधन गर्दै निरन्तर अघि बढ्दै सिद्धार्थ ब्याङ्क सम्बन्ध सधैँभरिलाई
बॉडी टिकाऊ बॉडी कवरेज
दिमाग लगाओ जापानीज टेक्नोलॉजी वाला पेंट चलाओ
होनी दिमाग लगाओ जापानीज टेक्नोलॉजी वाला पेंट चलाओ केएनपी नेरोलैक हेल्दी होम पेंट्स फ्रॉम जापान
Original taste, the original fun, one and only.
प्रोस्टाइल प्राकृतिक तत्त्वहरूको गुणसहित नयाँ आकर्षक प्याकमा जसले तपाईँको कपाललाई राख्छ ड्यान्ड्रफ फ्री र चम्किलो अनि राख्छ तपाईँलाई अलवेज स्टाइलिश एन्ड कन्फिडेन्ट
प्रो स्टाइल फर माई म्यान
वर्ल्डलिङको फेस्टिभ अफर 3 वा 12 महिनाको इन्टरनेट पेमेन्टमा पाउनुहोस् स्यामसङका विभिन्न प्रडक्ट्सहरूमा रु 15,500 सम्मको भारी डिस्काउन्ट छिटो भनेकै वर्ल्डलिङ
विदेशबाट ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा घर जित्ने मौका पाउनुहुन्छ नपत्याए
Here we go with Janak Prakash. And immediate runs you can hear from the cheers of the crowd. It's a flick away for 4 and a fine flick by Kushal Bertel. A dream start for Nepal. They get underway with the boundary right away. Andrew Leonard here alongside Paresh Lahani. Paresh, the perfect start for Nepal.
Yeah, boundary of the first ball. Janak Prakash straying down to the leg side. Kushal Bertel nicely picked it up down to fine leg for 4 runs, playing over the top of the short fine fielder. A good start for Nepal, and they need a good start to chase this target. It's not a big target, but anything can happen in a T20 match. So they need a good start given by Kushal Patel.
Oh, an inside edge, and Sheikh thinks about the single. Nearly come off the pad as well. The keeper ends up doing the fielding. Bertel sends him back. A chase like this, you know this ground well, Paresh. Defending is difficult because the runs can come quite quickly, but the key currency is surely wickets here.
Yes, it's wickets. I don't think Singapore can contain the Nepali batters. They have to take wickets, early wickets, and in power play, if they can wicket or two, that would be good for them. And if it was around, let's say, 7 to 8 years back, 145 is a defendable score in this track, in this ground particularly, because the track has been very good.
Can't pierce the infield, straight to the skipper, Ritra Dutta. Extra cover. Pressure on Dutta. I have to say I was impressed with his candidness throughout all of my interactions with him in the ACC Men's Premier Cup. His side were on the back end of very, very heavy defeats, but he always spoke with honesty after each game. I asked him about that at the toss this morning. He said, let's forget about that tournament. Down the leg side will be given as a wide. And he did so with a cheeky grin on his face. Quite enjoyed that.
Yes, he's a very humble guy. Dutta, captain of Singapore, decided to bat first after winning the toss. Usually at the 9 a.m. start, you don't bat first, you bowl first because of to use the conditions for the fast bowlers. But he was not hesitated to bat first. That was angling down the leg side. Jana Prakash given as a wide. He just wrist position is going towards fine leg. That is why the ball. Nicely driven by Kushal Patel. A copyright. Kushal Patel covered right for 4 runs.
Oh, beautiful stand and deliver stuff. The LED boards behind us flash 4 up. Well, this was a flashing drive, wasn't it? Just an extension of the arms, over pitched by Prakash all the way along the ground. And that, oh, it feels so good as an opening batter, as you'd know, Paresh.
Absolutely. You feel like it's heaven on earth when you play that shot. 2 fours and a wide in the first over.
Nicely checked into the onside, just a single. That's one of the 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. I continue to get not just tens but hundreds of questions on social media about the status of Dipender Singh Airi. I'm afraid I've no update. That break between the innings was less than 10 minutes, and we're just trying to tidy up some aspects of the production to make sure we're bringing you every ball as best as we can throughout the rest of the tournament. We will hopefully get some kind of an update before we know it's a leg injury. We don't know what kind, and we don't know how long he'll be out for, whether it's just precautionary for today or whether it may threaten his involvement in the tournament. If he was out of the tournament, Paresh, not to speculate, that'd be a huge blow for Nepal.
Yeah, that would be a huge blow for Nepal. Dipender Singh Airi not playing this tournament. We cannot imagine, the Nepali fans cannot imagine that. Nicely defended. Look at the timing of Asif Sheikh. Just a forward defensive shot, and the ball raced to the boundary for 4 runs. After the first over, Nepal 14 for no loss.
Well, you described it as a defensive stroke. It pretty much was. It was no more than a push into the offside, and these two have such different styles and techniques. Oh, that is beautiful, isn't it? It shows how good a wicket it is, and shows for me again that pace on the ball is the easiest way to score at this venue. Do see a Singapore player down. Quite sure what happened, maybe just taking a bit of an impact. Nice Spirit of Cricket on show again.
You're real,
यो हो रियल रियल फ्रुटबाट फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
हो, लाइफबोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस। त्यसैले पम्प, रब, छु। संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड।
20 वर्षदेखि ग्राहकहरूको चाहनालाई सम्बोधन गर्दै निरन्तर अघि बढ्दै सिद्धार्थ ब्याङ्क, सम्बन्ध सधैँभरिलाई।
First ball is swelled up to maybe 5,000 or 6,000 now. Again, this is on a Monday morning, a work day. For those maybe who weren't able to join us for the Tri-Series broadcast, a very happy Dashain to everyone who has been enjoying that elongated festival. And as that sort of starts to come to a close, we're going to see Ramesh Kalamathu to open from the Chobar end. An inside edge, saves Kushal Bertel. Outfield's quick, but not quite quick enough to get to the rope. They might think of third here, they nearly do. He's got this action that I described it as a little bit like Devin Malcolm. He jumps out at the last minute, doesn't he, Kalimuthu? And it can be a bit awkward to play if you've never faced him before.
Yeah, that is what Kushal Bertel thought. He just stepped 1 or 2 steps in front. Because of that action, the ball skidded to him. That is why he got the inside edge. The ball going towards the fine leg boundary, but 2 runs taken. Good fielding effort by the fielder there. Nicely driven. But there's a sweeper cover out there in the boundary on the offside.
Paresh, how big is this tournament? Not just for Nepal with the home crowd and all of their hopes and dreams, but for all 8 of the teams. It doesn't get bigger than a 20-team T20 World Cup next year.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. The last time Nepal played the T20 World Cup was 2014. So if they qualify, it'll be after 10 years they're going to play the T20 World Cup. And it means a lot to the Nepali fans, the Nepali supporters, the whole country as a whole.
Yeah, there'd be 8 teams battling it out for 2 places. Just a quick update from the other ground, the Multani ground. Bahrain posting 135 for 6 against the UAE. Having been asked to bat first, they were in real trouble losing 3 early wickets. But they have picked up a wicket already, and it's the big one. Mohammad Wasim has been claimed by Rizwan Butt, who I named as one of my players to watch in the tournament. A few good selections there, haven't I? With Rizwan Butt. Who did I go with for Singapore? Janak Prakash, he hasn't done that well. Gave Ayan Khan a shout from UAE. And Dipender Singh I went with, he's injured. Oh no, a mixed start maybe to my calls.
You're the man, Lenny. A good pick.
You too, Paresh. Great to be here with us. Muthu, just get
in this particular ground in one-day internationals. They're made in ODI 100. And the innings that Asif Sheikh played in Mulpani ground, chasing the target of 160 odd runs against UAE.
Again, a full toss. Can't pierce the infield, but will be able to trot through for the single. Huge challenge, isn't it, for Singapore to come in here. It's actually hit Kushal Bertel, isn't it? They're happy to run through for the single. All's fair in love and war there. It's hit him on the shoulder. No harm done, it looks like.
Hey, it was a sure boundary for Asif Sheikh, but Bhurtel was on the way. He tried to stop the ball with his hand, but it was hit with so power, timing. It hit Kushal Bhurtel's right shoulder. No harm done.
Guided away again by Bertel, but not going to be able to pierce the infield this time. 5 overs have been bowled. It's 49 for now.
You're real ho.
यो हो रियल रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
हो लाइफबोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस। त्यसैले पम्प रब छु संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड।
बडी टिकाउ, बडी कभरेज,
दिमाग लगाओ जापानिज टेक्नोलोजी वाला पेन चलाओ।
KNP Nerolac Healthy Home Paints from Japan.
I just think that Nepal want to complete the chase. Don't worry about the net run rate, because if you win the 3 league stages match, you'll end up at the group top. As simple as that, I think.
Yeah, one other factor to consider is that if you do end up top of this Group A, you will play your semi-final, which will be the critical, fantastic Friday. We're already christening it. The 2 spots will be decided. You'll play that semi-final here at the TU. I know Nepal have experience up at Mulpani, but surely in terms of getting as many fans in as they would like, in terms of their experiences here at this ground, they'll want to play that semi-final on Friday here at the TU.
Yeah, definitely. They will want to win all the 3 league stages matches and end up at the group winners. And Nepal is in Group A, so they're going to play the runner-up Group B in TU ground if they top the group. Slower ball, beaten completely. Asif Sheikh. A good change of pace by Janak Prakash. 2 dot balls in the 6th over, the final over of the power play.
Yeah, and if you are bowling quick here, you're going to have these skills. That's the leg cutter. Ideal execution. Look at how it's just died in the surface. Everything we've seen race to the boundary has tended to be a full pace delivery, an on-pace delivery. So Prakash, with the change of ends, he's already learning. Singapore will just hope to round out this power play by picking up one of these 2 openers. On pace and smashed down the ground. And smashed almightily by Asif Sheikh with no shortage of style or technique either. A full face of the bat, it goes all the way for 6.
Yeah, that was nicely timed with the full face of the bat, showing the manufacturer's name to the bowler. Look at this, straight hit, like Sachin Tendulkar used to hit it, straight down the ground. Beautifully timed as well. He understood the slower ball, the leg cutter that Janak Prakash bowled, and waited for the ball to come to his bat and then executed the shot.
Down the leg side, and there's a man down at fine leg. I thought it had just gone fine of him. Every run is being roared on. Hard to get across, Paresh, if you haven't been here, how intimidating that home crowd is. They're almost right on top of you, particularly in that most populous section up by the Nepali Cricket Supporters Society section.
Yes, that is the most popular stand, the section, just side of the side screen. Every fan wants to sit there. Slower ball, but straight to the fielder. talking about this opening pair, they have been very successful for Nepal for the last 9 or 10 months. Both of them have scored their ODI centuries in this particular ground.
Yeah, and I'd like to take that moment just to remind people that 2 games ago there was plenty on social media calling for Bertel to be dropped. It's one of the things I've really enjoyed about Monty Desai's tenure as the Nepal head coach. He's really shown faith in his players. And isn't he glad, and aren't Nepal glad to have Bertel back to his best? He's got such a great record here at this ground right from the very start of his international career. Remarkable to think it was only 2 years ago after the pandemic that he came in and debuted and had immediate success against the Netherlands and Malaysia in that tri-series that Nepal won. And it's just that nature he has to score so quickly and freely at the top of the order in these first 6 overs that gives Nepal such an advantage. Striking up towards 200 at phases of this innings. And with no shortage of touch too, as he shows here. He'll keep the strike with a single. 6 have been bowled, the power play is done. It's 57 for none.
You're real who?
यो हो रियल रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
वर्ल्डलिङ्कको फेस्टिभ अफर 3 वा 12 महिनाको इन्टरनेट पेमेन्टमा पाउनुहोस् स्यामसङका विभिन्न प्रोडक्ट्सहरूमा रु 15,500 सम्मको भारी डिस्काउन्ट। छिटो भनेकै वर्ल्डलिङ्क।
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
If you want to be exact, for Oman, no Jatinder Singh, he misses out with an injury, and also no Jaya Dedra, the off spinner, and still no sign of Karur Ali coming back from his exile in the United States. Janak Prakash has come out of the attack, and into the attack will come the leg spinner, who we'll see in a moment. Just when our scorers identify him, we'll help them out. It's Anantha Krishna, the leg break bowler. He'll come in from the pavilion end. Starts with a real drag down, but he's got a good field set, what I would describe as a classical T20I field for a leg spinner. 3 men in the deep on the leg side are all in front of square, deep. Square leg, deep mid-wicket, long on. 2 in the deep on the offside, long off, and deep extra. And then plenty of protection in the ring on the offside. So you want to bowl outside off stump and force the batters, that you don't mind if they take a single to the leg side, but force the batters to hit over those 3 fielders in the deep against the spin. Singles are okay. I like this field. Can Krishna find the breakthrough?
Yeah, it's a very good field. In terms of the field set, he has to bowl to that field as well. That is what he did the first 2 balls. And talking about Jatinder Singh not being there for Oman, that's a very big blow. The opener, the successful opener for Oman. Nicely swept away by Kushal Bhuttel behind square. Ball running down to the boundary for 4. Beautiful shot, beautiful timing as well, and equally good placement by Kushal Bhuttel.
Even though the field is good, the line has to be better. He's bowling to bowl this outside off stump, but it's angled in towards leg stump, and Bertel's too good. Gets it round the corner, there's no protection there, and he's going to get 4. Nepal well in control of this chase. Their 2 openers have got them off to a flying start, and Singapore, well, they need an answer, and they need the answer quickly. Not coming right now. Cut away, going to be 4 more. Outstanding from Bertel. The crowd roar again, and there's thousands of happy Nepali fans and millions across the country right now. They are flying through this chase.
And this was equally well played by Kushal Bhuttel. Waited for the ball and then got the gap to perfection between short third and backward point. There was a slight misfield by the backward point fielder. Moves to 46 of 24. Again on the leg stump, they're trying to push for 2. Good running between the wickets by these two batsmen. The understanding is there.
Well, quite brilliant this is. They're outclassing their opposition right now in every way. Back-to-back boundaries and then a ruthless intent to make sure they get two. He's weighted that intentionally. He's not tried to hit that to the boundary. He's forced them back with two aggressive strokes and he just pops it down and says to Asif Sheikh, let's get two. Runs away towards the rope, but won't quite get there. Going to be two more and it's going to be 50 for Kushal Bertel. It's come from 26 deliveries. 6 fours and 2 sixes, and the crowd rise to one of their very favourite, the Butwell boss. He's doing it again. It's 72 for none.
It's back-to-back T20I 50s for Kushal Bertel. The one in the finals of the Dabur Honey Nepal T20 International Tri-Series finals against UAE, and now today against Singapore, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup qualifiers. And look at the partnership, 72 of 42 these two have put on. Kushal Bertel starting his debut tournament way back in 2020.
Real fruit बाट बनेको real juice मा छ real nutrition, real taste र real happiness. त्यसैले त real juice real हो नि.
दादा बाहिर भाइरस छ.
नडराउ, मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई.
पम्प रब छु
हो लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस. त्यसैले पम्प रब छु संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड.
ड्याड यो फिजिकल होइन डिजिटलको जमाना हो. यति कामको लागि
7 of them 50s alongside the 100 that he made. 104 not out. I think that was at the T20 World Cup qualifier last year. That's one every 3 innings. A really good return at the top of the order. He loves this ground in particular, and he's been immense thus far today. And he's going to look to cash in now in a big way. Just a single this time. Nepal, they're in cruise control.
Yes, they are cruising towards the victory, and these two opening batters, Kushal Bertel and Asif Sheikh, they complement each other very well. When Kushal Bertel is going guns blazing, Asif Sheikh is happy to play second fiddle. Nicely tossed up, misses out Asif Sheikh. There was a hint of a turn for Puri.
Yeah, he will get turned, Paresh, because he gets good action on the ball. Got lots of energy through the crease. He's a brave young bowler too. Being honest, in what was a pretty disastrous campaign, as they get back for a couple at the ACC Men's Premier Cup, Puri was one of the few standouts.
Yes, he was. It was a disaster for Singapore in the ACC Premier Cup back in April. Now they have come out very strong in the T20 format. Scoring 145 against Nepal is a very good achievement in terms of Nepal's bowling attack.
Nicely bowled, so full. But Bertel is quick on the mark, and Manpreet Singh's pads can't stop the bye. Just game day 1 here at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Asia Qualifier, the final of this region. 2 spots on offer, but even though we're seeing Nepal dominate this contest, we could be in for a big upset across at the Mulpani ground. UAE are in early trouble. Been reduced to great running again is going to get them 2 here. Get to the end of the 8th over. 79 for none now. Check it.
You're real ho.
यो हो real. Real fruit बाट बनेको real juice मा छ real nutrition, real taste र real happiness. त्यसैले त real juice real हो नि.
The original taste, the original fun, one and only. यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला. यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
And with only the top two getting a chance to go to the semi-finals and only one game versus each team in the group stages, we're going to see some shocks, aren't we? We're going to see some cutthroat associate cricket at its best, with real drama, real intensity, and it all to play for. Because all these players, well, they're chasing their dreams.
Yeah, definitely we'll see one or two upsets. That is what T20 cricket is all about. A lower ranked team winning against a bigger team. Down the leg side, try to sweep the ball rather. I think it touched Asif Sheikh's pad. Yeah, it's been a terrific run chase by Nepal. 79 for no loss. Asif Sheikh 23 of 22, whereas Kushar Burtel 53 of 28. A good partnership here for Nepal.
This for me is what I would call a template opening partnership for Nepal. Sheikh is 24 off 23. You might say that's not quite scoring quickly enough in T20 cricket. But because of the way Bertel plays, it allows Sheikh to play that beautiful natural game of his. And they complement each other so nicely opening the batting. And right now, with only at the start of this innings them requiring 7.3 per over, it's now less than a run a ball needed. They can try and just canter home. They might, with about 30 or 40 to go, start thinking about net run rate and trying to accelerate. But for now, they want to bring up a 100 partnership. They want to just coast the hosts home in this chase. Remember, this is a game that for much of the first innings, Nepal looked pretty nervous and Singapore had much of the ascendancy. They get an overthrow. But this is much more like normal order restored right now for 2023 for the home side Nepal, particularly on home soil. Up until that final, they were unbeaten here in Nepal.
Yes, that was the first game that Nepal was defeated in TU ground or in Nepal in 2023. A very good run for Nepal. This is the last ball of the 9th over. 83 for no loss Nepal.
I know this is going to sound strange. It hasn't just been the fact they've been unbeaten. It's the way in which they've done some of their winning, coming back from the most unpromising of positions, particularly in that Cricket World Cup League 2 run. Played some sparkling cricket. It's been a joy to watch. End of the 9th over. The score is 84 for none.
रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
दादा, बाहिर भाइरस छ।
नडराऊ, मात्र पम्प र छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई।
पम्प र छु?
हो, लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस। त्यसैले पम्प, रब, छु। संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड।
Into its own. And right on cue it does come into its own. It's Akshay Puri. Gets the most perfectly flighted off break through Asif Sheikh. He looked for the aggressive stroke and he's paid the price. Cleaned up, clean bowled by the youngster.
Yeah, brilliant bowling by the youngster Puri. Asif Sheikh wanted to go for a slog sweep but missed the line completely. And look at the ball dip in front of him. That is the reason why leg stump uprooted. Let's look at from the backside there. Yes, beautiful delivery by Puri. Asif Sheikh has to depart for 27 of 26. Nepal 84 for 1.
वर्कआउट सँगै चाहिन्छ डाबर हनी, जसले पूरा गर्छ हाम्रो फिटनेस रुटिन।
डाबर हनीमा छ एन्टिअक्सिडेन्ट र मिनरल, जसले तपाईको फिटनेस रुटिन कम्प्लिट गर्नको साथै तपाईलाई राख्छ सधैँ फिट र यङ।
डाबर हनी, स्टे फिट, फील यङ।
नजिक आओ
साधारण टुथपेस्ट युज गर्नुभयो भने टाढै रहनुहुनेछ। रोज्नुहोस् क्लोजअप, यसको एन्टी जर्म माउथवाश फर्मुलाले दिन्छ 12 घण्टा 3 गुणा ताजा सास। पाउनुहोस् अझ बढी ताजापन र सधैँ नजिक रहने कन्फिडेन्स क्लोजअपको साथ।
Commentary last week, I thought that it felt like the right position in this format. In ODI cricket, he's absolutely the number 4, no doubt about it. But look at these numbers, very, very healthy. That's across all formats, so T20 cricket, ODI cricket, everything. Best part of 2,000 runs now for Nepal, and a strike rate combined across the formats of 86. He's very good at playing spin, he's very good at manipulating the ball into gaps. And for me, apart from when you want Kushal Malla to come in and impact the game in a big way because of certain reasons, I think Powdell at number 3 makes a lot of sense in this format for me. And he gets off the mark in real style, a drag down from Puri, and Powdell gets a boundary.
Yeah, this is what Rohit is all about. He plays off spinners and all the spinners so well. And look at him, he has ample of time to maneuver the ball all around the park. Look at this again, just waited for the ball. It was a bit quicker than usual that Puri bowled. He just paddled that round the corner for a boundary. Look at that again, Rohit Powdell on top of the bounce. Head very still to play that shot. Look at that again. Beautifully done.
He's a clever cricketer, Rohit Powdell. Even when he's not at his best, he always finds a way not to give it away, not to err for his nation. He's just so impressive as a leader, as a character, the way he speaks, the way he galvanizes his team. I think his captaincy is getting better and better as he goes on. He always seems calm at the crease, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's always calm. He's always calm in the field as well. And the best part of him is this is what I'm talking about. He hits it straight down the ground out of nowhere. This is what I was going to talk about. 10 runs off the over and a wicket. 10 overs gone. Nepal 94 for 1.
Well, what a blow. What a strike from the captain himself. It was only marginally over pitch, but Powdell says good enough. I'll get the long handle out and I'll clear the ropes with consummate ease. Took it.
The original taste, the original fun, one and only.
विदेशबाट ई-सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई-सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा घर जित्ने मौका पाउनुहुन्छ। नपत्याए
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
बडी टिकाउ, बडी कभरेज।
दिमाग लगाओ, जापानीज टेक्नोलोजी वाला पेन चलाओ।
KNP Nerolac Healthy Home Paints from Japan.
Possible.
Yeah, Jana Prakash has been introduced back into the attack from the pavilion end. Yeah, I was about to talk about Rohit Powdell, the way he bats. I'll come back to that. Nicely driven, but straight to the fielder. Looks in the mood, Kushal Bhurtel. He wants to score quickly. He wants to finish the game very early.
One of the things I'm loving about coming from that tri-series into this qualifier is the international aspect to it. I know that some people had difficulties accessing the feed for that tri-series, but with millions tuning in around the world on ICC.tv, it gives us a chance to say a warm good morning and a hello to everyone. All the way from New Zealand to the north of Canada, we've had messages. And those messages are flooding in, particularly from Nepali fans. We've heard of people waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's crashed my Instagram inbox again. It won't load. So apologies if we can't get back to you. Maybe use that hashtag T20 World Cup rather than message directly to me at Cricket Badge. I'm trying to get to some of the messages. Ahmed Adakari watching from Indiana in the United States of America. I'd say it's the middle of the night there. JB Bahara watching on from Seattle. What time is it there? He says Jai Nepal down the leg side. That'll be given as a wide. Nice to hear from Singapore fans too. Anirudh cheering on the boys from Singapore. He says we are the underdogs today, but hoping for the best. Riwaj watching on from the United Kingdom, up at 3:15 a.m. is when he woke up, and he's hoping that the boys can win and start the tournament well. And it's lovely to hear from everyone, so many coming in, particularly from the United States and Australia. That seems to be where many Nepali expats have made their new lives.
Yes, it's the US or Canada or either Australia. These are the three big countries that Nepalis go for their further studies.
And does that make that potential of a return to the T20 World Cup for Nepal, does that make it all the more special as this one's tickled around the corner for a single? If Nepal did get there, it's not obviously any formality or certainty. They'll have to play really well to get there, but if they did get there and they ended up with some games in the United States, I think we'd see thousands and thousands of American-based fans, Nepali origin American-based fans there to support Nepal.
Yes, definitely. If Nepal do qualify for the World Cup, T20 World Cup, that is next year, we'll definitely see thousands and thousands of Nepali citizens staying in US. Nicely guided.
We saw it in the Cricket World Cup League 2 series at the Musa Stadium. As they're going to run an overthrow here. Singapore's fielding has not been at the level that Nepal's was. We saw healthy crowds there in their thousands in Texas, but I suspect if any of those games that are going to be played in New York or Florida or Texas, the three host venues that have been announced by the ICC for next year's World Cup in the United States, we could see remarkable crowds. And the best thing about that tournament next year for me, Paresh, we're going to see an open draw, 20 teams. It'll be seeded, of course, but 4 groups of 5. This is nicely driven, but protection out there. So whoever does qualify from these regional qualifiers goes straight in against the big boys. The hundreds up, warm applause around the ground for it. So you've got a real chance of going in against South Africa, Australia or England. Give me 2 test nations you'd love to see Nepal play against if they got there.
Australia and India.
The 2 big ones.
Yes, absolutely. Yesterday, look at India's bowling.
Well, it was only really one word for it, sublime, wasn't it? Mohammad Shami in particular, I think, is such an underrated cricketer. Kuldeep Yadav, outstanding. They were far too good for England. And they've stayed perfect in that Cricket World Cup down south of the border here on their home soil. 11 have been bowled. It's 101 for 1.
रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
दादा, बाहिर भाइरस छ।
नडराऊ, मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई।
पम्प रब छु?
हो, लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस। त्यसैले पम्प रब छु, संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड।
वर्ल्डलिङको फेस्टिभ अफर 3 वा 12 महिनाको इन्टरनेट पेमेन्टमा पाउनुहोस् स्यामसङका विभिन्न प्रडक्टहरुमा रु 15,500
सम्म। And he's really hoping that injury is not too bad and that he's back by the semi-finals at least.
We actually don't know about the injury, what is wrong with him. We do know that's a leg injury. It was occurred in the warm-up after the toss, but we don't know the extent of the injury, so we'll have to just clarify with the team management and the medical staff down there.
Yeah, it's something I'll ask Rohit Paudel in the post-matches. This is so nearly bowled. I'm not sure how it's missed the leg stump. The umpire's had to think about it. He's initially given it wide, and now I think he's rescinded that, so no signal would indicate runs to me. That's a drop chance, and the keeper Manpreet Singh has put one down.
Yes, it looked like it didn't touch anything, but the umpire's given as a hit. It looked like he hit the bat. This is another one I was talking about. Hit it high up in the air. This is what Rohit Paudel is all about. Out of nowhere, he just smashes down the ground for a 6.
Well, catching practice in the crowd, and it's put down, hit up towards the most packed part of the ground. You get such a good view up there. You feel like you're right on top of the action. And this is an almighty blow from Rohit Paudel, right into the hitting arc and very nearly out of the park entirely. Put down, oh dear. A real chance for someone to have a moment to remember up there. But Rohit Paudel, he's wanting to end this in a hurry. He's looked at his most fluent that we've seen in the last 10 days or so. That includes the tri-series that preceded this. And he's flown to 18 off 9 balls, including 2 big maximums. Now he tries that favoured late cut shot of his. Another message coming in. Uday Raj Pandey says, I'm watching from Japan. I took a day off work just to watch today. That's the passion of the Nepal fans. Lovely to hear from everyone all around the world enjoying the action on ICC TV and indeed here in Nepal on Kantapur. Tickled around the corner. It's a classic Rohit Paudel shot. It has the pace surely. Anantha gives up the chase. It's 4 more. Nepal, what a start to the tournament they're having.
Rohit Paudel, he has big hits, big strong hits, and he has such a neat touch as well. A complete batsman. He knows what he's doing in the center. He calculates everything. Look at this neat touch. Just played it so late into the gap as well.
And it's hard to explain as to how frustrating that would be for the bowler. Didn't do a huge amount wrong and still conceded a boundary. Paudel wants the single, Bertel doesn't. 12 have been bowled. 114 for 1.
Body टिकाऊ, body coverage.
दिमाग लगाओ, Japanese technology वाला पेन चलाओ.
KNP Nerolac Healthy Home Paints from Japan.
The original taste, the original fun, one and only.
विदेशबाट ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा घर जित्ने मौका पाउनुहुन्छ। नपत्याए
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
And Asif Khan has been dismissed for 23. So it's now over to Alassane Sharafu and Ali Nazir to try and get it done. They need 136 to win. As we're going to see Philippe Omodurai come into the attack for the first time with those little stump-to-stump medium pacers that he bowls. No Basil Hamid at the crease yet. That's a surprise given his form in the tri-series. That Group B, it looks like a bit of a group of death to me, Paresh.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, good teams there, Oman, Hong Kong, UAE, Bahrain and Kuwait. Mind you, Kuwait has played very well to qualify for the Asia finals, and even Bahrain.
You just got a sense as well that Hong Kong were starting to warm to the task. Babar Hyatt in particular, such an important player. I think if we're going to see upsets, unless Malaysia can do something special, which they could here in Group A, I think those upsets are mainly going to come in Group B. Oh dear. One of the biggest cheers of the day is Rohit Paudel will turn 1 into 3 somehow with an overthrow. That's maybe the 4th or 5th overthrow we've seen already. The wheels well and truly off now for Singapore.
Yes, it's well and truly off. If Dipender Singh Aire was at the crease, I think they would have run 4 runs there. Rohit Paudel and Dipender Singh Aire, the fastest amongst the Nepali players. Look at Rohit Paudel, 25 of 13 already. Kushal Bhurtel, 60 of 36.
Well, a big shout out here to Sujan as well. He's watching from Japan. 10 Nepali friends, they all took the day off work. They're out there working, they've emigrated there, and they're all watching the action live on ICC TV. Guys, I hope you're enjoying it. It's so brilliant to be able to come together like that. Ashok watching on from Adelaide in Australia, so he says Jai Nepal. Bikram watching on from Hagley. Down in Christchurch, the Hagley Oval. He says he loves Paresh Lahani's commentary. Bikram Acharya, lovely to hear from you, sir. And Samir Rajpant says, we've woken up early here in Edmonton in Canada. Please give us a shout out. Pleasure to do so, mate.
In the meantime, the ball stayed very low. The last ball cut away by Rohit Paudel, but there's a fielder there, there's protection. 13 gone. Nepal 119 for 1.
Always love answering your questions that come into us on social media. This one from Eva Yed.
You're real ho.
यो हो रियल रियल फ्रुटबाट बनेको रियल जुसमा छ रियल न्युट्रिसन, रियल टेस्ट र रियल ह्याप्पिनेस। त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हो नि।
दादा बाहिर भाइरस छ।
नडराऊ, मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई।
पम्प रब छु
हो लाइफ बोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस। त्यसैले पम्प रब छु संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड।
ड्याड यो फिजिकल होइन डिजिटलको जमाना हो। यति कामको लागि त ड्याड
next year, and I don't think there's a better time to be involved in associate cricket. The ICC structures, and indeed here in Asia the ACC structures, are giving more competitive playing opportunities for all of these teams than ever before. And in the next right cycle for the ICC, every World Cup will expand. The ODI World Cup for the men will turn back to 14 teams. In the 20 over version, the T20 World Cup, it will expand to 20 teams with that open draw, 5 groups of 4, and that's what we're playing for here. So there's a real chance, after what has been, particularly through the pandemic, some difficult years for associate cricket, there's such a good structure now for these players to show how good they are and to rise up the rankings and get to World Cups.
Nicely cut away by Kushal Burdal behind square. That's another boundary for him. Moves to 65 of 39. Nepal well truly into the chase. Just 22 more needed. And talk about the associate members, Lenny. We can see Netherlands, how big they have had an impact on world cricket. They've beaten South Africa, they've beaten Bangladesh in the World Cup.
They didn't just beat both those sides, they beat them out of sights. I called that Scotland victory over the West Indies at the Cricket World Cup qualifier as the most complete associate performance ever over any full member. Such was the comprehensive nature of the victory, but the Netherlands have just taken their game to a new level, and I think it's a template that every associate side now has to follow. I think Nepal are doing the exact same. They're doing all the basics right. As this one skews off an outside edge. The direct hit has just caused Paudel to rush, but he did get home safely for the single. And that template they're using, excellent in the field, brilliant in the running between the wickets, batting all the way down to number 11, bowling as few extras as possible. It may all sound very basic, but it all adds up to put pressure on the full members. Occasionally they're going to be beaten out of sight, like Australia did to them. They were competitive for 35 overs that contest, and then Glenn Maxwell just took it away from them. That's going to happen because on the whole the full members have better players and more depth. But that template the Dutch have shown us, I think all of the associates should now be looking at that. Even the lower ranked full members, Bangladesh, Zimbabwe, Ireland, Afghanistan can learn from it. And it's a template that can be implemented across ODI cricket, T20 cricket, and I want to see more of it from the associate sides to come.
Even talking about Afghanistan, they are the test playing nation, but they beat England and they beat Pakistan for the first time in the one-day internationals. Nicely bowled, but single taken by Kushal Burdal. 14 gone, Nepal 127 for 1.
Well, we're trying to get to some of these comments in between the overs to show you the partnership quickly between Paudel and Burdal. It's been almost as impressive as the opening one. 43 coming off just 29 balls, and already the victory song for Nepal is maybe a little bit early ringing out across the T International Cricket Ground. Nice to hear all
scrambling for 2 runs.
It just amazes me how good they are between the wickets, and it's pretty much across the board. All 11 players, or certainly the top 7 or 8 batters, probably 9 if you include Sampal Kami, all excellent between the wickets. I think in the first innings that would have just been a single, could have been a dot in fact.
दादा बाहिर भाइरस छ
नडराउ मात्र पम्प रब छु गर्दियो भाइरसलाई
पम्प रब छु
हो लाइफबोय ह्यान्ड वाशले मार्छ 99.9% भाइरसेस त्यसैले पम्प रब छु संसारकै नम्बर 1 सेलिङ जर्म प्रोटेक्सन सोप ब्रान्ड
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि
to continue from the pavilion and a dot ball, a rare dot ball in the 17th over, the first ball after 17th over.
I just wonder, is Bertel going to try and give us a bit of Mahendra Singh Dhoni here? Dance down the track and finish in style. It's 5 to win. A maximum would do it. Dance down the track it is, but not quite enough to finish it off like MS Dhoni. It was exactly what he attempted. And maybe the only blot on the copybook of what's been a really good day for Nepal. Kushal Bertel caught out by Thilipan just inches inside the rope for what would have been the match winning 6, and he's gone for a marvellous 74.
Yeah, it was a very smart catch by the fielder there, exactly like what Rohit Podal took in the first innings. Kushal Bertel, what an innings that he's played, 74 of 47. Beautiful knock. I beg your pardon, it's from 48 deliveries. Nepal 1 for 1 for 2.
So dad,
जाऊ बाइक निकाल त
कहाँ जाने ड्याड?
ब्याङ्क जानु छ एउटा कामले
ब्याङ्क लाउन्स यो फिजिकल होइन डिजिटलको जमाना हो यति कामको लागि त ब्याङ्क जानै पर्दैन नि
20 वर्षदेखि ग्राहकहरूको चाहनालाई सम्बोधन गर्दै निरन्तर अघि बढ्दै सिद्धार्थ ब्याङ्क सम्बन्ध सधैँभरिलाई
बढी टिकाउ बढी कभरेज
दिमाग लगाओ जापानिज टेक्नोलोजी वाला पेंट चलाओ
हो नि दिमाग लगाओ जापानिज टेक्नोलोजी वाला पेंट चलाओ केएनपी Nerolac healthy home paints from Japan.
5 days of public holiday that were enjoyed and that emptied out the valley of Kathmandu last week and gave us those beautiful shots of the clear skies after the monsoon rains, and they've had a field day, they've had a great day out. Kushal Malla, it's going to be in at number 4. We know what this youngster's like. He could well try to end it with one blow. I wonder what his captain said to him. The leg spinner's going to come around the wicket, so he's going to be bowling into his hitting arc with the ball turning in unless he goes with a googly. It's 5 to win. Is Malla going to do something special? Well, of course he is. It's quite simply a walk-off 6. The moment he hit it, he just started to walk towards the pavilion. He's only going to face one ball today, Kushal Malla. It was all too predictable, wasn't it? And Nepal have won by 8 wickets, with the young left-hander finishing off in the grandest of styles. And it's a dream start, a dominant 8-wicket win to get their T20 World Cup qualification adventure underway. And thousands, if not millions of fans across the country will be very happy with their Monday morning's work. Nepal off to the dream start.
Yes, Nepal off to a dream start, winning the game by 8 wickets. We were expecting that Kushal Malla would hit the first ball for a 6 to finish it off. That is what exactly he did. 147 for 2 in 16.3 overs. That will do their net run rate a world of good. Nepal winning the game by 8 wickets. A very good performance by Kushal Bertel, 74 runs. Asif Sheikh 20 odd runs, and Rohit Podal, the captain, stayed there, not out. And look at the 6 again, just above the fielder's head. Tilip almost coming to the commentary box.
Well, Rohit Podal is going to be one very satisfied captain. He's sharing a joke and a laugh with his young power hitter. I suspect he told Kushal Malla not to do it, but he did it anyway, smashing that first ball all the way for 6 in an extraordinary manner. to get Nepal that victory that, to be honest, they've really well deserved. They've roundly outplayed Singapore, who continue to have their problems. They're going through a difficult phase under Aritra Dutta. They haven't been able to get any winning momentum. Knocked out in the group stages at the Asian Games, a tournament to forget here at the ACC Men's Premier Cup in April, and now hammered really out of sight with 21 balls to spare. I think many Singapore fans will question the decision to bat first. Despite that good effort from the second wicket partnership, didn't really have much to cheer in this contest, despite Rohan Rangarajan's impressive innings and a T20I debut to remember for the youngster Aryavir Chowdhury. It could be a very long 3 games for Singapore, and I just wonder, are they going to be staring down the barrel of 3 defeats here in Group A? Just 2 wickets fell in the chase for Nepal in the second innings. And they were the 2 of them. Beautiful off break from Akshay Puri, and trying to hit a 6 to win it. They've ended up picking out Thilapan. What a brilliant day it's been for Nepal. Have a look at the bowling card here. Not much to cheer really, was there, for Singapore. Just 2 wickets, one for Krishna and one for Puri, the 2 spinners. Almost every bowler going at nearly 10 runs per over. So let's take a look at some of the best of the shots. We're going to see lots of Kushal Bertel in this package. He was outstanding, wasn't he? Posting back-to-back T20I 50s and scoring with a real fluency and calmness. 74 coming with 8 4s and 2 6s. Asif Sheikh, it's some good stuff too. And when Rohit Paudel came to the crease, he scored really quickly as well.
Yes, these 2 openers, they complement each other very well. When Kushal Bertel gets going, then Asif Sheikh plays a second